Alright guys, welcome back to Doom 2016. The last time we met Doom 2016. We finished up the Foundry mission, was it? Where we had to find the four gore nests and stop the meltdown and stuff like that. So now we're just continuing on with the next mission, Beginning of the End, which again, the mission objective is to stop Olivia Pierce, but I believe this time the actual mission objective of
Olivia is
this
using the tower
is
to throw a doorway into their world. You can prevent her from opening the gate by disabling the tower induction filters.
yeah. So we're doing that. We're disabling the tower induction filters. So by that, we're just going to be disabling the Argent Tower. I think I was wrong in terms of what mission this was. This isn't the mission I was thinking of, where Doom Guy is going to be smashing the Argent Energy canisters or whatever, despite Samuel Hayden's orders. Again, I think it's the next one. It's one of these next two missions. That's all I remember. Being frank here, it just Doom 2016's missions kind of blend together after a while. Not that it's a bad thing. I still like this game, and I do enjoy what this game, maybe this is, judging from the fact that this might be the one. I can't remember. But we'll find out in a second. We'll find out. So, literally earlier today, they revealed another trailer for Doom, The Dark Age. And I gotta say, looks really good. I was not expecting a trailer for that game to happen so soon, and it comes out in May of this year. I think it's like May 14th or something like that, which is, I guess, perfect timing on my part for doing this Let's Play. I'm not going to do Eternal so soon. Eternal's probably going to be a bit later, but, yeah. I watched the trailer, and I also watched the gameplay demo that id Software uploaded alongside it, because I think it was during the Xbox dev showcase. So basically, the Xbox's version of the Nintendo Direct. I watched it through that, and it looks legitimately interesting. For one, unlike this game is about running and gunning, and I never really realized that until id Software explained that, where where both Doom and Doom Eternal have a bit of a different focus. Doom 2016 is about running and gunning, while Eternal is about jumping and shooting, which is, that's pretty interesting way to do it. And then, basically, from what I've gathered and what they explained, it looks like the Dark Age, you're basically gonna be a fucking tank, and you're gonna be encouraged to go into combat sections ready to parry and basically just be an overall unstoppable force. And I'm pretty sure the enemies are going to adjust accordingly, of course. It's Doom. But it does look like they're also trying to make it more accessible to new players, which, I will praise them on. Not every game has to be ball-bustingly difficult for no reason, and scare away new players. So I'll give the Dark Age that. And it looks like, in terms of story, it looks like it takes place before, like, way before anything else in the series, judging from the fact that I think they mentioned that it leads into the codex entries that we get in this game specifically, especially when we start going to hell, which I found really interesting. Oh, is this the first rune challenge we did? Oh, yes, it is. So this rune challenges, let me explain those real quick, because those are pretty interesting. So rune challenges are like small combat challenges that you can do, and you're limited to a particular weapon, and you just have to defeat enemies or perform a certain objective with a certain condition. That one we just did was just defeat 10 imps with the shotgun. And then the other one, and then another one that's can pop up is like destroy 10 explosive barrels with nothing but the pistol. And just, but the objectives are simple. It's just a matter of, can you do it? Because the time limit is pretty strict, somewhat. Sometimes it can be like 8 seconds, but you gain time based on how many kills you did, and the rules are laid out in the description of the rune challenge when you interact with the rune stone for the first time. So keep that in mind when you decide to do the rune challenges. I don't get all the rune challenges in this playthrough because basically my rule for rune challenges during this Let's Play was if I didn't get it within three tries, I moved on, because I didn't feel like wasting too much time trying to get it. I got things to do, and it's not really worth it most of the time. But there are certain runes that are much better than other rune abilities, because when you beat the challenge, you get a rune which is a passive perk. Like the one I think I have is Vacuum, which increases the range that I get for getting getting ammo drops and stuff like that. I'm about to say, chainsaw the fucker or shoot him. Yeah, vacuum. And there are ways to upgrade the runes to the next level, and it just usually it's based off of like whatever rune you have currently equipped. And you just have to do it when you're equipped. Oh, and by the way, I'm doing one of the challenges, which is to be knighted, where you have to do a glory kill on a Hell Knight from above. And in this mission, it's a lot better to do it with it's a lot easier to do it with the double jump, but we don't get that for a while, so I just decided to do it here. Ah, you bitch! Come back here! That's unfortunate. Well, we'll get it later. But hey, a prayer token. But what was I saying about the Dark Age? I'm most likely going to pick it up around launch time, or sometime within that time frame. Not like I'm not going to wait. Usually with Doom, it's a safe assumption to say it's a decent series. I've never really heard about a bad Doom game, especially recently. Like, I think the only one that I've heard was just terrible was what was, like, the last, like, I think it was Doom 3. I think that one was considered terrible. But, since 2016 and Doom Eternal, I've never really heard anything bad about the Doom series, so I think it's pretty safe to say that id Software knows what they're doing when it comes to the Doom series, which I hope they do. They've been, running that series ever since its inception, so I would hope they know what they're doing, but again, I'm not going to base my opinions of a game based solely on a couple trailers and a gameplay demo, because, I will say that a game looks good, but, come launch night, something could happen. Everything is suddenly different, and the game is absolute shit. The same thing happens with movies all the fucking time. You could show me a trailer for a Sony vs. Spider-Man movie, Hold the Spider-Man, and 9 times out of 10 I'll say, oh, this looks somewhat decent. It looks like they tried at least with the trailer, but then you will go to watch the actual movie and it's utter garbage. Craven, what? I didn't waste my money to go see Kraven the Hunter on launch night. Oh, shut up. God. This is coming from someone who says Morbius isn't that bad. Like, okay, it's mediocre, but Morbius is just... Its problem is that it was just... It's just very mediocre at worst. I mean, at best. And at worst, it's unbearable. But even then, the unbearable moment is really just kind of one time in the movie to me. There was only really one time where I kind of just wish I turned the movie off and watched something else. Well, Madam Web and Craven, that was the whole movie to me. Yeah, I sat through watching Madam Web, and that was probably the worst experience of my entire life. And you know, it's kind of sad that I go into the Sony-verse movies with really low expectations, because I really shouldn't be doing that for a movie. You know, the one sentence I don't like saying when I'm recommending a movie to a friend is, you know, like they say they want to watch like the Borderlands movie. Someone asked me if it's worth watching. I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it fully. I've watched most of it. I don't remember what scene I get to, but every time I get to there's like a scene I get to, and every time I just go, I don't want to watch this anymore. Or I just straight up don't pay attention to the movie and get on my phone and just scroll through social media and iFunny. And I try not, and I don't really do that when I watch movies and TVs, especially if I'm interested in the show slash movie. I just wasted that, didn't I? Because it's just, I don't like doing that. It's just, you know, it feels really stupid, and it's probably just because, you know, I kind of grew up in an era where we didn't have phones. I mean, technically we had other electronic devices like Nintendo DS's and shit like that, but you know, I didn't grow up with a phone in my pocket every 5 minutes. So I guess I have an attention span. I don't know if that's I don't really think that should be a real flex nowadays, but I'm gonna take it as one, I guess. I've seen some people with really bad attention spans nowadays, and it's pretty crazy, but that's a whole discussion for another day that I don't feel like getting into right now. Here I am again, running in circles like an absolute dipshit, trying to find secrets that I don't need, or really shouldn't be wasting my time about, because I'm pretty sure most of the people who are watching a Doom 2016 Let's Play are trying to just see people, Doom guys shoot shit. It's like, shoot the bad guy. But another thing another game that I kind of saw today was Assassin's Creed Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I don't know if... I know it's not really related to the game, but I mean, technically I play a lot of Assassin's Creed on this channel. I've played through every game up to Brotherhood, or up to Revelations, so I thought it might as well be okay to talk about Assassin's Creed here, and I don't plan on playing through Assassin's Creed 3 for a little bit longer. I'm not going to play through... I'm probably not going to buy Shadows at launch, because, in all honesty, I've never really liked the RPG approach to the Assassin's Creed series. I've played through Origins. I liked Origins. You know, it was good for a first attempt, but again, I'm a little lenient on Origins because it's the first attempt in that for the Assassin's Creed series. But, you know, Odyssey and Valhalla, not a huge fan of. Valhalla especially. I don't like Valhalla at all. I've probably played a good chunk of Valhalla. Hated every goddamn second of it. And I know a lot of people say that Valhalla is their favorite out of the RPGs and stuff like that. And that's probably because of, you know, the fact that it takes place in the Nordic Vikings time, and that's an interesting, and a lot of people like that period of history. I can understand that. I'm kind of the same mentality about, oh, by the way, I died. I'm kind of the same way with, you know, why I have such a bias towards Assassin's Creed 3, because it's during the American Revolution, and that's one of my favorite times in history. So I can understand that. But the thing is about the whole Nordic thing, and it's not the Nordic style that turns me away from Valhalla. It's just that the game itself just isn't that good, honestly. I just don't enjoy it. It doesn't feel, and I don't want to say the, you know, common thing of, oh, it just doesn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. I mean, in all honesty, I can kind of agree with that. It doesn't really feel like I'm playing the Assassin's Creed series, like, you know, the Ezio trilogy and stuff like that. But, you know, as much as I love the old Assassin's Creed series, you know, I can understand why they wanted to shift to a different style, because, you know, after a while things get stale, and you don't want to do the same thing. You know, things were getting stale. Things were getting pretty stale with Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I could tell. I mean, why do you think they had the grappling hook to easily ignore climbing sections? Because they knew that people were kind of getting sick of the parkour system, and they were trying to find a way to streamline it so you don't have to do it that much. At least that's my justification on why the grappling system is in that game. I don't know. But I didn't really enjoy Valhalla. Odyssey, I just don't remember. I just straight up don't remember anything. Oh, this is the mission. I was right. Okay, this is the mission, and I'm totally ignoring the objective because I see things to shoot. I was right. I love this mission. Okay, so this is the mission. I was like, I figured it was this mission. It was either this mission or the next mission. But I do love this right here. As soon as I heal.
We're only temporarily disabling the tower. You need to remove each lens individually. Carefully release the hinges.
Warning. Energy contamination detected.
Destroying the production of Argent Energy isn't necessary.
It's not, but it's cooler. Also, the reason so yes, Doom Guy doesn't talk, but he also, actions speak louder than words with him. He doesn't like what the UAC is doing. He doesn't like the experimentation with Argent Energy and exploiting Hell and shit like that, Hell's resources, because it's dangerous. So that's why he doesn't give a fuck about, you know, the UAC in terms of, he doesn't give a fuck about UAC and what they stand for, because he doesn't like what they do. At least that's the justification I've kind of gathered from what I can tell. He just straight up doesn't like the UAC. Or at least what they're doing with Hell's Energy. And, you know, Samuel Hayden himself has said it himself multiple times throughout this Let's Play, where he says, you may not agree with our work, but you need to understand it was done for the benefit of humanity and shit like that. But, again, you know, Doom Guy doesn't like it. And you don't piss off Doom Guy. But, what was I saying about Assassin's Creed? But Shadows, I've watched the trailers, I've watched the gameplay, and it looks good. But again, the problem is it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft has been having some problems lately, and, you know, right now it's not looking good for them. Because if I remember correctly, one more big bomb, like what Star Wars Outlaws was, could be over. And I love Ubisoft. I mean, I really did like Ubisoft, and I really don't want to see a whole game studio shut down because of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And a lot of people already are skeptical with Shadows because of, well, the issue is that one of the characters, Yasuke, I forgot how to pronounce it, is an African samurai, and, you know, as a result, a lot of people are going straight to the Assassin's Creed has gone woke mentality. And I'm not going to get into that shit here, but, you know, there are a lot of people who are already not wanting to play the game because of that. And, you know, that's a whole can of worms that I don't even want to get into here. Because that's just, I will just say that shit's getting on my nerves, by the way. I'm getting tired of hearing it. I don't care what it is. It's just, I'm just getting tired of hearing it every time. Like, I've probably heard it for about, like, 90% of the media I consume, but it's just whatever. But the only thing I'm skeptical about with Assassin's Creed Shadows is just its gameplay. And, again, it's an RPG like Valhalla, and it looks like it's trying to go back to its roots of the previous games. Like Mirage sort of did that, and I played through a good chunk of Mirage. I actually think I almost finished Mirage. I just don't think I quite finished it, and I liked it. I liked what I played. I need to finish it, but it was really good, and I enjoyed it. So, you know, if the problem is that nobody remembers that Mirage even exists, I think. Because I remember I mentioned that I was playing that game to a friend of mine, and they asked me, the hell? I didn't know they released another Assassin's Creed game. And I'm like, yeah, it was Mirage. And I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know about it. And I honestly didn't blame them, because I don't think they did I don't recall any sort of major marketing for Mirage off the top of my head. I remember they announced that it was coming out around the time of the Assassin's Creed series' 20th anniversary, was it? Like, they were making a big deal about that. Like, they were going to have, like, a gameplay filter that replicated the first Assassin's Creed games' color scheme. And then, like, a week later, the game was out. And I was just like, the fuck? That's out? Because I remember I saw the game sitting on a shelf at... I think I was working at Walmart at the time. And I saw the game sitting at the shelf when I was shopping one day for myself. And I just straight up said to myself, oh, shit, that game's out? I didn't realize it. But I didn't pick it up launch day. I waited a couple days. I waited a little bit longer to see if maybe, you know, there'd be a sale on it or some shit. And by the way, yes, there was. I think like a week later, I ended up getting Mirage like like $20 cheaper. That probably was because I got it on Amazon, and I used a discount code that or a gift card I had on standby from a previous return. So technically, I ended up paying full price for it, but I ended up saving like $20. So I'll take the win I can, get the wins I can around here, I guess. But I enjoyed it. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think that everybody even remembers that Mirage exists. Which is really unfortunate, because I do think it's a pretty good game, but it's just one of those things where, eh. Oh god, I don't think I'm gonna get it. I didn't get it. Ah. Yeah, so this one you have a few seconds to start off with, but you get 2 seconds for every barrel you destroy, which is it's a pretty easy one. The only thing you know, you got to worry about is choosing the optimal path, and also making sure you're not standing too close to the barrels, because if you accidentally shoot it while you're standing right in front of it, you take damage, obviously. The other issue is I'm kind of not taking the optimal path and just kind of going with the flow and trying to see, you know, how many I can destroy without having to turn around, even though I've turned around like 4 times already. I'm also taking forever to actually aim and shoot. The other thing is that it's a matter of finding the damn things, because once you start getting to the lower ones, once you do get to the last couple, they light up, they get a red outline on them so you know where they are, which is nice. I mean, they didn't have to do that, but they did it anyway, which I will I'll compliment on them on that. They didn't have to do that, but yeah, by the way, that's the end of the part. I decided to end the part right after a rune challenge. So yeah, typically if I end a part at the halfway point of a mission, I either try to end it after a rune trial, or if I end up dying, one of those two, as long as there's a loading screen. But the next time we meet in Doom 2016, we will be continuing on with this mission by destroying all of the Argent cell things, and, you know, pissing Samuel Hayden off, because I think there's only one left to destroy, but I like pissing off Samuel Hayden. So see you guys next time for more Doom 2016, and take care.